Recording. Good morning. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And once again, for today's video, I would like to thank today's sponsor, which is at Life Brand Insurance through Shoppers Drug Mart Canada, as well as shoppersdrugmart.com. Thank you so much to at Life Brand Insurance, once again through Shoppers Drug Mart Canada and shoppersdrugmart.com. With that being said, let's continue our foundation addition and additives in insurance claims, as well as in the topic of continuing to create a URL based web page in order to specify different topics in regards to the actual product. So first off, this is the IT CC Plus Oil-Free Matte Poreless Finish Full Coverage Cream and Anti-Aging Serum. This is actually a very full coverage cream for myself. However, it is very lightweight in wear. So yes, is it full coverage? Yes. Is it lightweight, meaning that the wear time on this is not as long lasting? That's one negative and one positive. Yes and no. Not as long lasting of a wear. You can get between 3 to 4 hours wear out of this in the weighted feel. However, in the shade feel, it does adapt to your skin tone very, very nice and very, very quickly. Now I have two of these. These are from NYX. This is the NYX Professional Makeup Bear With Me Blur Foundation. And this is, hold on, let me turn on that light so I can read it properly. This is a blurring tint foundation. This is the shade 16 Warm Caramel, and this is the shade 21 Rich. They are both very, very pigmented. They are both very long lasting coverage. You can wear these for up to 6 hours comfortably before the need to clean your skin. I also have two of these because there were only 2 shades that launched in this brand from Rimmel. So this is the Rimmel Kind and Free Moisturizing Skin Tint Foundation. This is the shade 510 Cinnamon, and this is the shade 410 Latte. Like I said, these were the only 2 shades that launched from Rimmel Kind and Free way back in 2022, I believe. They launched in 2022 and they started selling out through the US, and then I was able to get them here in Canada. And currently I believe these are still the only 2 shades that they have, which is 510 Cinnamon and 410 Latte. The next foundation, and I've had this since the very beginning, which is 2020. I've had this since 2020. It is one of my favorite foundations, and I'm trying to use it as little as possible because it is very, 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 very expensive. In order to make one of these, it costs $1,600 to make even one shade. So the fact that there are so many shades within this brand from Fenty Beauty, it costs a lot to create this brand. $1,600 just to create one shade of this foundation. And this is the Fenty Beauty. This is the Hydrating Longwear Foundation, and this is, I am in the shade 400. Now, we don't have to pay the full price of $1,600 because of discounted deals. But, well, I mean, where they getting the money from to pay $1,600 for a foundation? But they do. Fenty Beauty long wearing foundation. Yeah, I'm just saying. Now, I have these two foundations that were gifted to me, and these are also the only two shades they have. And this brand from the beauty supply store launched before Rimmel did, and they are an off-brand off Rimmel, and this is sold in the beauty store, this is sold in the drugstore. And so you have this brand, then you have Rimmel, and then you have the NYX Blur. And the brand is Canvas Clean Beauty. Canvas Clean by Max Beauty, made through Rimmel London. This is the Clean Canvas Photo Finish Foundation, and I have, this one is the shade F8 Warm Golden, and this is the shade F.7 Warm Undertones. So once again, there are only two shades. This is sold in the beauty supply store, and I was gifted these from Rimmel and Max Beauty. These I purchased on my own. They are not the same, but they are very, very similar. You have Annabelle, and then you have Milani, which is the next step up from Annabelle. I have here the Annabelle Perfect Fit Matte Liquid Foundation, and this I am in the shade 300. And then the next brand up from Annabelle is Milani. This is Milani Glow, and this is a hydrating skin tint. I am in the shade 410 Dark to Deep. I have yet to test this in order to tell you how it feels on my skin. I also have yet to test this to tell you how it feels and what the wear time is. Hopefully, eventually, I will get there. The next foundation that I have, that I've also had from 2020. In 2020, I only had these two plus the Fenty Beauty Body Lava. So I only had 3 foundations for at least 2 years. 2020 to 2022, I only had 3 foundations for the first 2 years after beginning to restart my life again, for like the 3rd time. I only had 3, and these are 2 out of the 3. I'm currently using the 3rd one right now in another project, but that's neither here nor there. But this one comes first, and then the Fenty Beauty one comes in next to match with that. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is Charlotte's Beautiful Skin Foundation, and I am in the shade 9 Warm. This is a very full coverage foundation. Very, very, very full coverage foundation, And with this foundation, it takes a lot of blending, otherwise it will set on your skin exactly where you put it. So you need to moisturize not only your skin very well to work with this foundation, you need to moisturize the brush or use a wet sponge in order for this foundation to spread evenly and properly. I suggest that if you were to use this Charlotte Tilbury foundation, the best bet would be to use a sponge and not a brush, because you get more coverage from this foundation out of a sponge and not a brush. The first drugstore foundation that I ever purchased, and I believe I purchased this in 2021, is the Pacifica Elite Clean Foundation. This is 100% vegan and cruelty-free. 100% vegan and cruelty-free, and I am in the shade Neutral Tan. This is very close to the Fenty Beauty skin tone shade, and in that I am the shade 400. This was really expensive in the drugstore. I was kind of like putting it up there at the Bay price or Sephora pricing at $30 just for this bottle of foundation. Just for this bottle of foundation, really expensive, $30. One of the best ways to use this foundation, however, is also with a sponge, just like the Charlotte Tilbury. If you use it with a brush, it will get very sticky and patchy and not be able to spread. So these are two foundations that are best used with a sponge: the Charlotte Tilbury as well as the Pacifica Elite foundation, better used with a sponge instead of a brush. Now, this is where I stopped purchasing and I started to study the Comet, the creation of the Comet, in order to purchase my foundations in the right order. And the foundations represent the gas filling up inside of the Comet, because as each piece of the Comet is being created, the gas fills up that piece. Otherwise, if the gas in that comet is not, or in that piece of the comet is not filled up, that part of the comet is not going to stay where it's supposed to stay. So, foundations represent the gas in the comet being filled up in order to allow for the gas for the piece of the comet to stay. So therefore, if there's not a front forwarding cover, this is why we have some containers that don't come with lids, because it proves that there is a portion of the comet that doesn't have a cover, but it is filled with gas in order to keep it from falling all the way through the face of planet Earth. So that's why we have containers with no lids, because it proves that there's a portion of a comet that is not completely covered during its creation, because it has to wait until the gas cools off to zero liquid fluid. And if the gas is not cooled off, it's too hot to create a lid that will cause the comet to explode before it is completely built into the shape that has been desired for it to be built in. So, this is the Maybelline Fit Me Tinted Moisturizer, and this is with aloe, and aloe is a plant that tends to cool down a lot of things that have burning elements to them. So if you get a burn on your skin or a burn in your scalp from using perm, I have one that I'm reminded back here of all the time. I use something very aloe vera-esque that helps to calm down And that's why I use castor oil, because castor oil is made with aloe vera and it helps to calm down the burn from using the perm chemical in my skin in order to get my hair nice and straight. So that's what aloe is for. Aloe, this is Maybelline Fit Me Tinted Moisturizer, and this is with aloe, and I'm in the shade 330. Now, these are the last two foundations that I purchased in the summer of 2022. These are the last two foundations, and they have a little bit more of a shade range that is more even closer towards my skin tone. But I just have not picked them up yet because they're these are expensive. These are 20 bucks a piece. This is $10 more. These are 20 bucks a piece. This is the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream for oily skin. This one is best used with a sponge and not a brush. I have tried using it with a sponge. It doesn't have that long-lasting fluctuation when you use it with a brush, and it doesn't blend very well when you use it with a brush. It is much better used with a sponge where it doesn't stick to a lot of dry patchiness on your skin. So the shades that I have in this foundation are the shade 550 Medium Deep, and this is, they are both the same shades. However, remember, undertones do matter in this. They are both the same shades, 550 Medium Deep, but they have different undertones in them. So even though it says the same shade on the bottle, the undertones are quite different. So I'm guessing what's happening right now basically is that even though, because when you build a comet, you have to build a comet with the same gas, but the outside of the comet has a different look to each person. So some may think it's silver, some may think it's gold, some may think it's bronze. Okay, so when you think a comet is silver, gold, bronze, there's several different shades of 550 that represent the way that you think a comet is, whether or not it's silver, gold, or bronze. So that is why we have different undertones, and sometimes a comet can triple in size and create more than one undertone, especially if that comet is attached to the first and original comet created, to prevent it from bursting in midair while being created. So this is why we have several different undertones in the same shade range. Anyways, with that being said, that is it for my insurance or insured claim through At Life brand with the help of Shoppers Drug Mart. Thank you so much, Shoppers Drug Mart and At Life brand insurance, for sponsoring today's video, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.